Hello, my friends. My name is Darren Gerdes. I'm just a professor providing context in the war in Ukraine. The stories that we're going to talk about today are absolutely remarkable. I've never seen a day that had this many just awesome stories. Okay, 1,210 Russians off the battlefield, 3 tanks, 40 armored fighting vehicles, 25 artillery systems, 71 vehicles and fuel tanks. It's about the same tempo that it's been before. But look at this. This is Andrew Perpetua's list, not today. Today's hasn't come out. This was yesterday because I didn't cover it yesterday. It wasn't out when I was doing this. About 4-1. That's pretty amazing. And he was posting this. I think today is my personal record for the most videos done in a single day. Like, he tries to cover everything he can, but yeah, it was a big day yesterday. Okay, another huge Shahi drone attack overnight. Out of 76 launched, 72 were shot down by air defense. So that's telling you Russia's trying to make sure life's miserable for Ukraine, and it's hot. And this is not saving up. Like, when there's only like 6 in the evening, I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign because they're saving up for a rainy day. This might have been the rainy day. Okay. Russia launched 76 drones, as we just talked about, but none reached their targets. Ukraine's Air Force reported destroying 72, 2 crashing and 2 returning to Russia. Okay, so that's what happened. Now, if you want to know what a Shahi drone looks like, if you want to get a sense of that, then just look here, because this is pretty amazing. 40 kilograms of explosives are going to be packed in that thing, and it can pack quite a punch. All right. So next, Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Syrsky is visiting Ukrainian troops at the front. Good on him for being out there with the troops at the front. What we've seen from Shoigu was something more along the lines of some kind of made-up video about how he's up there at the front with his men doing his thing, but you couldn't really tell whether he was in a helicopter somewhere over eastern Russia or if he was actually anywhere near the front. But Syrsky and his predecessor both have done, and Zelensky have all done this kind of thing. World Axis of Evil. Russian media spreads footage of Yemeni Houthi mercenaries in the Russian army. This is the first that I've heard of this sort of thing, that there were Houthis actually working for Russia, but they'll take mercenaries from wherever. They'll buy that military support. And I'll follow up on this to see if there's more about it, but wow. Okay. U.S. Ukraine aid faces deadline as White House seeks extension. I talked about this yesterday. Joe Biden has until the end of September to spend another $6 billion. And if he doesn't spend that on aid for Ukraine, then they lose that. And Russian channels are celebrating that Biden's months-long restriction of arms to Ukraine has left almost $6 billion about to expire this month, unused despite Congress authorizing it 6 months ago. So, like, if you were cursing the Republicans for taking 6 months to pass that aid bill, what's going on, Biden? You have 6 months. You're still not willing to spend this extra money? Well, like, you have it. They need it. Okay. Anyway, Russians may struggle to maintain offensive tempo in Donetsk after Kursk redeployments. I thought this was really interesting because what's happening here. Let's read a little bit about this. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced on 13 September that a recent Ukrainian operation in the Kursk Oblast has disrupted Moscow's plan for major offensive along Ukraine's northeastern border, according to the ISW. The Ukrainian incursion in early August has reportedly spoiled planned Russian offensive operations that aim to expand the area of active combat in a broader front in northeastern Ukraine. But that's not it. Okay, there are indications. I mean, that's not all is what I'm saying. So that happened, but there's more. There are indications that Russian authorities have transferred limited elements of likely reserve units from Donetsk Oblast, including from the Pokrovsk direction. So that's really what the Russians want, and having to water that down. Listen to this. Such limited redeployments are unlikely to have an immediate impact on the tempo of Russian offensive operations, although Russian forces may struggle to maintain their current offensive tempo into the future if Russian authorities conduct additional redeployments from reserve forces in Donetsk Oblast. So what they tried to do was attack into Russia so that it would take some of the pressure off on the Eastern Front, and it did in various areas. Not as much as they were hoping for in Donetsk, but if they can get creative and do do something else somewhere else, they might be able to really draw down those forces. Okay, but it looks like it's having some kind of an effect. Meanwhile, Ukrainian troops are breaking through another defensive line in the Kursk region. So again, the Russians are trying to go here from Kornevo down to Nosh. And on the eastern front, the Ukrainians are actually making some progress over here. Ukrainian military, AFU, captured Kadyrov troops in the Kursk sector, and the army advanced up to 5 kilometers. The Kadyrovites are the TikTok warriors that make all these impressive videos, and then they aren't terribly good at actually fighting. Maria Zakharova says the U.S. has committed a criminal act on Russian journalists. Now, this goes back to the RT indictment and that sort of thing. Endangering their physical safety. The diplomat called the United States sanctions against Russian journalists an information attack. Wow, how about that? No, it's not. It's real. It's sanctioning pseudo-journalists who are propagandizing. Poland will allocate 100 million euros to the Czech initiative for purchasing ammunition for Ukraine, but half is coming in 2024 and the other half in 2025. It's going to be a while. I really do appreciate it. And, 100 million euros worth of artillery is nothing to turn your nose at. But it's not like it's showing up tomorrow. So these announcements are made, and then there's this long lag time before things get there. Okay. Donetsk Oblast. I told you we're going to see some awesome things. Donetsk Oblast, the Ukrainian drone covers a Russian-held tree line with molten thermite. This is a dragon drone, and it shoots like a flamethrower of molten thermite at troops. It's remarkable. I'm not showing the video, just a still image, setting multiple positions ablaze. Russian infantry can be seen attempting to down the Ukrainian Dragon drone with small arms fire. And so that's what you're actually seeing here with these little things that look like javelins going out. That's just tracers as they're trying to shoot this thing that's shooting fire down from a drone on positions, trying to shoot it down. Wow. Okay. Ukraine successfully, I showed a still of this the other day. But yeah, this video is actually showing it working. This is Ukraine successfully tested a drone equipped with a rocket-propelled grenade. Now, what's happening here, I showed you one with, I think it was like an AK-47 or some equivalent rifle, a drone with that on it. Man, we are moving into the future. It's like some dystopian movie, the Terminator kind of something, headlong here with what you're seeing with the war in Ukraine. An RPG on this, it's like, wow. Okay, they've been able to drop grenades and things along those lines, but this is next level. Here's next level. What do you call the Ukrainian fire-throwing robot dog? Okay, he's not in any combat situation. They're just showing here what this thing can actually do. It's a flamethrower attached to this robot dog, and this robot dog's really impressive because he can like move and maneuver, and they have eyes on it because they have a video camera so they can see where they're going, and it's kind of hard to knock out. But wow. Again, the future is here, and it looks like a flame-throwing robot dog. Okay, just because I am a big fan of air-to-air combat with drones, here's another one, and bam. Okay, exciting to me. I don't know about you. Tell me if you like that in the comments, because I just find it fascinating. Okay, Kyiv in 3 days, 2.5 years later, Russians advance in Russia. How about that? And then finally, we'll leave you with this. Has the West responded to my latest red line? Not yet. We're waiting for them to stop laughing. All right, my friends, thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.